Hi, and welcome back to another episode of CVC Interviews. My name is Joyce Vaudrey from Vernon, and I'm here tonight with a couple of very interesting guys. One in particular is going to be talking to us about not just chess, but this wicked cool tournament that's going on in October. And it is open to everyone. I love events like that. You get around like-minded people that all enjoy the same type of game or sport. Some people call chess a sport, huh?
Yeah.
You got a lot of plotting and planning to do. So you also brought with you tonight a friend, Chris. Chris, how did you get started playing chess?
Yeah, so I was playing when I was really young, got away from it for a while. After seeing the Queen's Gambit a couple years ago, like so many people, I got interested again. Started playing online. I noticed in the paper about the club that Charles was in. So I just showed up one night, met him, started playing with the guys there, and took it from there.
Excellent. The Queen's Gambit. I'm also old enough to remember when Bobby Fischer was very popular. So that was another bump in the game of chess.
For sure,
correct?
yes.
Got a lot of people interested. He was a very young player when he was very popular.
Right.
So Charles, what got you interested in chess to begin with, but then to form this chess club?
Well, when I was a senior at Rockville High School, a couple of friends of mine were playing chess, but they didn't have time to show me anything about the game. So I contacted my cousin, Bobby Nevins, who was president of the chess club at Sykes Junior High School. So I said, Bobby, I would like to learn how to play chess. So he took me to the side and showed me how to move the pieces. But then along the way, I would go to the library and get books and magazines about chess to learn much more about the game. So that's how I got started.
Excellent. I find it's a great way to channel someone's energy into something where you can think so many moves ahead. That's where I get stuck. I'm only like a 2 or 3 move person. I will just be I'm more likely to introduce someone to chess. Where do you play chess here in the Vernon, Rockville area?
At the American Legion on West Road.
Yes, I'm very familiar. Yeah, they have a lot of great functions there.
Yeah, we play there at the American Legion.
And when do you usually play there?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So can anybody just drop in? Or
Yes.
Oh, it's a drop-in. I also hear they offer beverages at a reasonable rate.
Yeah, they do. They have a bar right there. There's no smoking inside.
That's
so
right
that's
by
not a
mine.
problem. But they do have a bar, and certain times they do have the kitchen open,
Yes.
so you can get something to eat.
And in the warmer weathers, they got fruits and vegetables for sale in the parking lot.
Yeah.
A little farmer's
Yes.
market, yes.
Yes, yes. So do you play chess there also?
Yeah, I have played chess there quite a while with Charles and some other people that we meet up with there.
So for someone who's curious about chess, could they just show up and learn how to play there?
Yes, they could come there, and somebody will instruct them on how to play, how to make the moves, and then from there it's up to the person to do some research on their own.
Sure, yeah.
You have to do something on your own, and then you start playing.
I like chess. It's one of those inexpensive entry games. And then you wind up with marble pieces and hand-carved pieces, but you can start with a very inexpensive chess set.
Yes, I don't like the marble or the glass sets, because once they get chipped,
Yes.
that's the whole set. So we get these hard plastic sets.
I love this. This is portable, huh?
Yeah, and this is basically what most of the people use in chess, because they're all they look standard pieces. They're not all
Yes.
fancy.
Right, right. A bishop's a bishop here, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And this is from the U.S. Chess Federation,
Yeah,
right?
this came from the United States Chess Federation. It was 1995 for
Wow.
the chess set and $6 for the board, and it's roll-up. So it's not expensive, but it's a standard set. There's no what's this, what's that. You can see a bishop's a bishop, a
Yeah.
pawn's a pawn, and they look standard.
So for people that aren't very familiar with chess and they kind of know how it's played, why are there numbers and letters around the board?
Because they write their moves down. When you get into tournament chess, every move has a number or a square. Like you have a number and you have a letter.
Okay.
Like this would be A1,
Okay.
A2, A3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And you can probably see that up here even better.
Right here.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
would,
great,
This
okay.
would be D1. There's the 1 and there's the D. This would be C2.
So do you use this board with the slide? I'm a teacher, so I recognize something like this. Is this something you use as a teaching tool
Yeah,
for
it makes-
someone who's learning?
it makes it
Is
a lot easier.
So I always love to move, of course everybody likes to move the horsey, the knight.
Good night.
So with the different movements, do you have to kind of memorize your steps that you just did, or you're planning ahead all the time?
Well, you have to know exactly how the pieces move, and you do plan ahead. For instance, if the pawn was right there and this pawn goes right there, he can be taken by 2 pieces. The pawn can capture and the knight can capture. But on
okay.
the other hand, the knight protects that pawn and the queen protects that pawn.
Okay, so you don't want to give up your knight for a pawn, so you just move on to somebody else.
Yeah,
Okay.
you may give up your knight if you're getting ready for a checkmate or
Sure.
something like that. But it's
Well, I always thought I was fancy when my dad taught us how to castle.
yeah, well, that's something you have to do. You bring the rook next to the king
Yep.
and the king on the other side of the rook.
Yeah.
Now you can castle 2 ways. As you can see, the board is split. You got the queen side
Yep.
and the king side. If the queen wasn't there, you'd bring the rook over here and the king on the other side.
Okay, now that's something I didn't know.
So you can castle either side.
I didn't know you could do that.
That's called the long castle.
The Long Castle, okay. I'm familiar with Castle Island in Boston, but okay, the Long Castle. We were given, when we were quite young, a magnetic opening with the little foam piece
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
chess set, and I had that till about 5 or 6 years ago. I gave it to a student. I was a high school teacher, and we would play chess and checkers and jigsaw puzzles in the classroom for breaks. And it just warmed my heart the way he just tackled chess so well, and he was so proud of himself that he finally was good at something. That's how he described me. I'm finally good at something, and just being able to play a game, but also feel good about it. Just learning how to play.
Yeah, it's a good game. People make more out of it than what it is. That's the problem. They think you have to be a genius, and I'm no genius. So I just liked the game from the beginning. It was a challenge.
So it's a game of strategy and planning. It kind of reminds me of with your club. It's kind of introducing a lot of different people, a lot of different ages. So the tournament itself, it can be any age. But is there an age restriction on your Tuesday, Thursday games?
No age restrictions at all.
So that could actually be a family night out. Bring the kids out and teach them how to play chess.
Well, to a certain extent, yeah, you could do that.
But I understand you're opening the doors up to all people, women, not just men. You want everybody to be playing chess, huh?
Yeah, and if they can't find a club, if they've got access to online, there's chess.com. You can go online now and play with people all around the world even.
I've tried jigsaw puzzles online. Some things aren't very good online, but I'll try that. I do like the idea that someone could learn and figure out what the pieces do. The first step to learning is just knowing what the pieces are able to do, right?
Yes.
So when you're teaching someone, is it easier if they're actually using the pieces as you're teaching?
Yes. Well, they have to know how they're lined up when you first start.
Okay.
And then you start from there.
All right. So what have you got set up here? It looks like you purposely moved these little guys.
I just move them around just to.
Oh, okay.
Just
all right.
Moving around.
So how would you set this up? What would a new clean chessboard look like all set up? And how do you decide who goes first?
White goes first.
Why?
Because that's the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
And very often what you do is you kind of like hide the pieces and you
Pick a hand.
pick a hand.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you decide who goes first.
And if you don't do that, you just do the white goes first. Okay.
Yeah, you just.
White's got a slight advantage because they're going first.
White sets the offense, black sets the defense.
All right. I did know one of like a 3-move thing where you start with the pawn and you end up.
Fool's mate.
Is that what it is called? My dad taught us that one too.
That very seldom happens. Somebody definitely does not.
It's
know
an
how to
old
play.
school trick now, so
Yeah.
if people like me can remember it, then you know.
It's not done very often.
Yeah.
So what would you like the new person to know, or someone who, like you, Chris, is coming back to the game?
Well, beyond knowing just the movement of the pieces, there's just a number of strategic ideas and themes to get better in chess.
All right.
In other words, try to get your pawns to the center, control the center, start moving the other pieces out to support the pawns.
Oh, okay.
And
like you're making a little wall there to block in the royalty.
Protect your king by castling.
Yep.
So once you start learning these basic techniques.
The long castle, though. I got to try that one. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how the pieces move. It's like any other game. If you don't know the rules to the game, then you can't play it.
Right.
But the only rule we have is if you touch it, you have to move it.
Ooh.
If you touch it, if you go like this, I have to move my knight.
Oh, it's not one of those, I haven't taken it off the spot yet.
No.
No, you touch it, you got to move it.
You touch it,
Do you
you have
guys
to
use the
move it.
timers?
No. Well,
That's stressful to me. It's like, I don't want to hear the ticking.
well, we do it for 5-minute games or 10-minute games.
Yeah.
But when we play among ourselves, we don't use the clock that much.
You play a chess game in 5 minutes?
Yeah. Because you're.
Are you guys like bang, 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 bang,
Yeah,
bang,
that's what
bang?
it is.
It goes pretty fast, yeah.
That's what it is. It's pretty
Yeah.
fast, and
Yeah.
you're just moving. But if you know how the pieces move, it's not that bad.
Okay.
You have enough time. You have enough time to finish a game. If not, then you lose.
Well, that's the whole gist of it, isn't it?
Well, in 5 minutes, you have the clock.
That's crazy, 5 minutes. Do you guys ever do it where like one person plays against more than one person at a time?
No, we haven't done that.
That sounds challenging.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Well, maybe you can try it.
No, I'm too lazy to try.
Well, I got to tell you, this is not a game that, you could do it casually, have a cocktail while you're doing it,
Yeah,
watch a game while you're doing it.
Yeah, it's
You could, but once you get into it, you want to be a little bit more thoughtful
Yeah.
and
Do
concentrating
you
on it.
recommend new people write down their moves too when you're new?
no.
No?
Yeah. I do it often,
Yeah.
because I will
Well, you're
go.
not really new, Boo.
No, I'm not new.
The
I will go home. I'll analyze the games. I'll try to figure out where did I go wrong. How did he beat me? And so next time I won't do the same mistake again.
I got
The
it.
main
I
thing
got it.
about new people, they don't learn how the pieces move. You just have to know how they move.
Okay.
That's the main goal. Once you know how they move, the strategy and tactics will come along later.
Well, I did find it was easier for me to learn it was easier for me to when I was watching someone else. Once I knew, oh, that's why they're moving the knight there, and I could see, and then he's freeing up the bishop, and yeah, so it is more exciting when you know what's going on.
Oh yes.
When it's going really fast. What does your shirt say, by the way? It says the Owen Wright Chess Club.
The Owen Wright Chess Club.
And what is the bottom? I see that's Latin, but I didn't take
Sumus
Latin.
nihil optimum. It means we are nothing but the best.
I love it.
But I couldn't put that in English because then that could cause a lot of problems.
Okay, so you were sneaky and put it in Latin.
Put it in Latin.
So it's an inside joke.
And it looks good too.
It does look good. It does. These are good-looking shirts. So, and who is Owen Wright?
He's my brother. He worked at Ryan's. The first chess club was the Park Place Chess Club.
Oh,
That was the name of the chess club in the beginning.
all right.
And that has been going on for over 20 years. And my brother used to work at Ryan's Deli, but he was killed on his motor scooter outside of Ryan's Deli
I'm sorry.
almost 2 years ago. So I decided to rename the chess club.
That's wonderful.
So we'll call it the Owen Wright Chess Club.
That's beautiful. But you can show up at the club every Tuesday and Thursday on West Street.
Well, what time is that, Charles? Tuesday, Thursday?
Oh, yeah.
5 o'clock.
Okay, so 5 o'clock, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You guys can drop in, anybody. Play a little chess. It might have been a little while since you played it. These guys can help you out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
thank you so much both for coming. I'm really glad that you brought this to our attention. We love hearing about fun things to do outside of the workday, right? Show up any Tuesday and Thursday and play chess.
It's a good exercise for the mind. That's
It
the way I
is.
look at
It
it.
is, yes. It's wonderful. It's a great logic puzzle to solve.
It's similar to checkers in that before you make a move in checkers, you always think about, should I move there or should I move there?
Well, that's how I got the high school kids to do it, was they were resistant to chess, but they love playing checkers. I'm like, all right, well, look, it's kind of the same. We even use the same board, and slowly but surely, and they wound up, most of them really loved
Once
it.
you learn how the pieces move,
Yeah.
the strategy and tactics come easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
And there's nothing more satisfying than taking a piece off the board of your opponent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You gotta enjoy the small wins, right?
Yeah. Nobody wins all the time.
No, not at all.
To start off, you're going to lose a lot. But it's just having fun. You just, you
Yeah.
move, and what do I do next? White attacks the pawn. Now, black has to defend that pawn, because if he doesn't, white will take it. So black usually plays here to defend, because if white takes, black
Then
can
the pawn will take him.
Or he can put the knight out there. So you have a choice. Do I want to move the pawn to protect my pawn, or do I want to move the knight to protect my pawn?
I would have moved the pawn.
Yeah, you could have moved the pawn.
Put
And
the
then-
quotes back. Save him for later.
And then black comes up, white comes up like that. Now what do? I'm attacking you. You're going to take me or not?
And this makes me think of one thing. Every game is different.
Right.
In chess, you never repeat the same game because you get a few moves out and there's just so many different.
And when you play
ways
with
can
different
go.
folks too, they have different tactics.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, they do.
I find it fascinating, and I'm really glad that you guys came in tonight to tell us about it.
Good.
So I hope a lot of you folks will join them Tuesdays and Thursdays at the
American Legion.
American Legion on West Street in Vernon. Thank you all for coming and watching us tonight, and we'll see you soon. My name is Joyce Vaudrey, CVC Interviews. Bye.